Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to have a bit more of a play with our handmade tabs that we've been doing for our tags and everything else that we use the handmade tabs for. And I've just been playing around, having a bit of fun with fabric. So if I just kind of show you what I've done so far, I've just made a couple of tabs. I was trying to think, was I meaning tabs or tags? Tabs with fabric. I have made this one here, as you can see, I've kind of lined it onto book page, and then I have made these ones where I've done them a bit like we did the fabric envelopes, where I've just Mod Podged the fabric itself, which gives it a sort of stiffened up texture basically. This one again is on the book page, so just to give you a sort of comparison basically. So I'm not sure which one I actually think is better. I think they're both pretty versatile and pretty good. And then I also made some just with some doubled up book page to have some book page ones as well, because I thought I could, could just do with some extra ones basically. So I thought we could come along and have a play, and I'll just show you what I did. So I've got these lovely fabric samples, which were gifted to me by Laura. So thank you, Laura, if you're watching. And all I did was I took my Mod Podge and obviously my brush, and I just pasted it all over my fabric with, like, a 1-inch brush or something. I mean, you can use any fabric, I think, for this. I'm not sure about things like velvet, to be fair, but anything that's kind of thinnish, I guess. I'm sure cotton. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I've got my window open because it's really stifling up here, so I hope that... Oh, my phone's ringing. It's going to be one of those videos. I do apologise. Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's going to be one of those days, I'm afraid. So I do apologise. Right, so that's my, Mod Podged just on the fabric one. So I'm just going to move that to one side. And what I'll do is probably dry that in a minute on my heat tool. So obviously I'll switch the camera off while I do that. Just going to, wipe the excess Mod Podge off of the desk. Like that. And then all I did for the book page ones was obviously take some... Oh, I'm so sorry. Right, so all I'm going to do here is basically Mod Podge this fabric onto the book page. So again, what I'll do this time is just apply the Mod Podge to the book page instead. So I'll put plenty on like that. Okie dokie. And then just pop my fabric down like that. Again, press that really nicely down onto the book page. So all I'm going to do now is obviously dry them off on my heat tool. So let me just move my bits out of the way, and I'm just going to dry them off on the heat tool. Okay, so I have dried these with the heat tool. I have to say they're not quite dry. They probably could have done with another few minutes, but I've dried them as much as, I could basically, or could be bothered, let's be truthful. So they're now kind of got a bit of a stiffer texture. I think this feels something a bit like oilcloth, but obviously it's not quite as sheeny as oilcloth. And then what I'm going to do is obviously have it folded this way, so actually the sheen is not really visible anyway, if that makes sense. So all I'm going to do is cut a strip here, like that. So, and obviously this is my one, that's not on the book page. This is the one on the book page. So we'll do both to kind of just see the differences. And then all you're going to do is fold it over and just cut strips to make them, approximately tab size. So, you know, you might want to mix it up so you've got a variety to use. You know, if you like to make them ahead and have them in your stash, you're going to want, you know, a few different size ones to give you some versatility when you come to use them. This one obviously has got that little jaggedy edge, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, and then, I mean, obviously because it's not quite dry, it's having a bit of a tendency to stick together. Once that's dry, that won't really do that, so that's fine. And then all you're going to want to do is take something to use as a template. Now, because this is fabric, I have used, you know, if you saw my tutorial before, I used my 1-inch circle punch where I obviously drew the little marks on so as I knew roughly, you know, where to insert my tab. Obviously, because this is fabric, you know, maybe some punches punch through fabric, but certainly none of mine do. So you're not going to be able to use your punch for these. So what you're going to want to do, or, you know, how I found easiest to do, is just get one that you do like the, you know, the shape and size of, and just use that as a template. So you can then just cut around there like that. And I mean, of course, they don't have to be perfect, you know. We're not looking for, you know, 100% perfection here or anything. You just want them roughly, you know, roughly good shapes. So like that. It's so cute, isn't it? So you've then got, obviously, your, you know, if you've used smallish squares like I did, you've got a whole square there that you can make a few. As I say, this is still a little bit sticky because it's not quite dry, but, you know, you can just play around and obviously make them to size. I mean, you might be wondering what the purpose of the Mod Podge is. Now, personally, I find, because obviously if you're just using floppy material, it's not going to necessarily have this, well, I mean, obviously it's not going to have this stiffer tab-like texture, if you see what I mean. And that's fine, because sometimes I think, you know, floppy fabric tabs are great, but this just gives you a bit more of an option to mix it up, I think. So that's those, and I'm just going to put that to one side, and I will obviously make a whole bunch later. And I'm just going to bring in the one that's now on the book page. So again, all I'm going to do is just cut a strip. So again, we'll just cut like here, I think, going across there like that. And then we're just going to trim this down. I'm just going to get rid of that jaggedy edge like that. Okay, well, I didn't quite get rid of that jaggedy edge, but never mind. I can obviously neaten these up when I come to actually make them properly in a minute. So these actually I've made much smaller for some reason. It's, you know, it's just the way it went. But that's fine, because like I say, you want to have quite a few different sizes in your stash if you're making them ahead. Now, this again is that floppy edge, and as you can see, it's not quite to the edge of the book page, so I just want to trim that off. So I just trim that down there to neaten that up. And then I'm just going to cut a bunch of tabs from my paper, or my paper fabric stuff. So that one. And then again here, where I've got that edge, I just want to take that edge off. Like that. Whoops. Okay. And again, I'm just going to do exactly the same by using my little, you know, tab that I'm happy with as my template to cut the corners in. So we've got that one, and then we'll just do this one here. Like that. Let me get rid of those pieces into the bin. So there you've got that one. So, you know, I mean, I think they're both absolutely fine. I don't necessarily have a preference for which one is better. I think they both, you know, work out fine. I guess it's just personal choice. And, you know, again, you might want to just make some of each, because it's nice to have different bits and pieces to use. So let's make something with those to, you know, just get a feel for how they would look, I guess, on a project. I mean, actually, I'm just thinking now I've got this fabric on this book page. I mean, I could make just a fabric tag and actually then have a little coordinating tab. I'm not going to do that because, well, I say that. Shall I do that? No, I'm not going to do that because that was not what I had in mind at all for this. So yeah, stick with the plan, stick with the plan. So I'm just having a look through to find some page that I would like to use. So I've got some decorative papers here and I'm just choosing one that I think might look quite nice. That's quite nice. That is quite nice actually. And then I've just got here to the side, got some of my stamped pieces. So let's just bring this one in like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? And I'm just going to trim that down like that. Okay. So that's really nice. Now I'm just going to move this to one side and I think this one. And then let's get something to like reinforce this with. So I normally like to just stick this onto something so it's, you know, a bit thicker. Just having a look to see what I've got here in terms of thicker card or paper to back it onto. So let me just have a look. I normally like using that buff type coloured card because it's, you know, it's super thick. And of course it's, you know, a way of using that because I do like to buy that just for the envelopes really. So can I find any? Of course, no, I can't. Hold on, I'm pretty sure I've got some here beside me. So just wait 2 moments. Okay, right, here we go. So I'm just going to pull this in. Yeah, and I think what I'll do is actually I'm going to cut this out like this. Like that. And then what I might do is just do like a tag shape inside there. So I'm just going to fold that over here. Like that. Okay, and I'm just going to cut down the edge. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're doing some crafting, having a nice time. The sun is shining here yet again, honestly. Just, we have been so lucky. The weather has been so lovely for like such a long time now. Right, now what I'm going to do is just bring that here. I mean, you could probably see, but I had made a hideous job of cutting this not straight at all. So I'm going to have to obviously tidy this up, and that's fine. So pop that there, and I'm just going to neaten this edge up slightly. Well, hopefully that's the plan. I'm going to neaten it up. Who knows? Might make it worse. Okay. We're going to go down like that. Okay, so that's really nice, isn't it? Now what I'm going to do, and I have done this before on some tags, and I just think this creates a really nice kind of effect. So all I'm going to do is just tear like a little small section out, like that. And then I might just tear maybe another piece out from here or something. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is stick my book page down behind there. So I'm just going to tear that down. Right, what I'm going to do actually is chop that down there. Okay, I'm going to have that there. So all I'm going to do is glue around here like that. And then just glue around the edge of here. Oh, I've done this on the wrong piece now, look. What a wally. Right, let's use this one for up here instead. Quick save. Lucky this glue's not too fast drying, isn't it? Oh, honestly, what a wally. Right, so we just move that there, like that. And then just, again, chop this one down. And we're going to have that here. So again, just glue around, you know, where that's going to be around the edges. Like that. Okay. Right. Then we can, oops, let me just mop this up. It's a little bit mucky now. Right, okay. So that's that. And all I'm going to do now is just trim down there where it's just overhanging slightly. Okay. Now I would rough this up, but this is only on copy paper, so it's quite flimsy, and I think I may damage it if I do that. So I'm going to just go for it and, you know, stick it down without roughing the edges. So I'm just going to glue around there. Again, just glue down any sort of stray edges that are sort of flapping about. Okay. Oops, and we just pop that down there. Okay, and I'm just going to spread that out now with my card. Okie dokie. Like that. So sorry about that noise, honestly. It's so hot up here today because I've done several videos. So obviously I have had the lamp on, sorry. I've turned the lamp off now because, I mean, to be honest, it's quite bright. So I'm hoping you can all see anyway. But it was just getting so hot up here. I just had no choice really but to turn the, you know, open the window. I was like on the verge of passing out. So, right, so we've got that. And then I may just round the corners, I think. So, like that. And then just grab the blendy tool and ink it up. So, like that. Okie dokie. And then just going to ink the back of it now before I stick anything too much on the other side, because otherwise it might get quite lumpy and bumpy and it won't want to then ink up very nicely. So just ink it up here. Okay. Right, that's that one. Obviously I'm going to ink up the tab as well. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? So I can't decide which way round to have it. I'm going to ink it up on both sides and then just see, you know, which side looks nicest. So just ink that up a bit. Oops. Ink this side as well. Okay. Yeah, I think probably that side. Weirdly enough, when I first started, I thought it was going to be that side, but I'm not so sure now. And obviously I cut this out thinking we were going to have this on here. I'm now not so sure, because obviously I've done those torn pieces, which I'm not so sure that that's going to be quite ideal on there. Now I wonder if I've got any more of that printed that I have been using lately as the washi tape. Let me just have a quick rummage through my bag. Hold on. Right, I didn't have any more of that, but weirdly enough, I had done some of my numbers. This is my number set 3, and I'd done some of those on the clear Avery sheet of labels as well. So I'm thinking this one, I'm just going to cut this one out. Okay, we'll just trim that down. Because I'm thinking this might be a quite nice way to have this just attached at the side maybe. Although then that's going to go over the picture, which didn't necessarily want it over the picture. Right, let's just have a bit of a think about this. So do you know what this is also? This has got a, can you see that? It's got like a little hole in there as if it, you know, were a tag. So I'm now thinking what we could do is attach that maybe with an eyelet. So let me just grab my crocodile. And all I'm going to do is punch this through the tag and the piece on the top like that. And then I'm going to just put one of my hole reinforcers over there. Oops, can't now peel one off. Come on. Come on, come on. Right, I do always like to add a little bit of glue to these as well, just in case they're not cooperating with gluing down or sticking down. Oops, and that one's got loads of glue stuck on it from my fingers, must have been. So sorry, my fingers are really messy because I have already been doing, obviously, as I say, several videos this morning. So, right, so we've got that there. And then if I just pull in some eyelets, what colour? Have to be that one, I think. So just go for that. Like that. Oops, go on. Okay, I mean that just makes that quite interesting looking, doesn't it? So I'm just going to get my crocodile and clamp that on. Okay, so that looks really nice, I think. Yeah, I like how that looks, so really nice. Now we could leave that flapping, or I could actually just run some glue down the bottom and then that would be like a tuck spot. So I might just do that. Nothing like thinking after you've stuck it on, is there? But oh, you have to excuse the back. That was my messy stamping attempt. So just pop a little bit of glue there. Just again, press that down like that. Okay, so that looks really nice now. And then I think we'll have our tab. I'm wondering if this one's a little bit on the big side and maybe we should use one of these smaller ones, to be honest. I think maybe a smaller one might be better. So let me again get my template. Oh, that one is quite small actually. I could use this one, although it's got quite a lot of yellow on there. So yep, I'm not going to use that one, but I will use that just as my template. So I'm just going to pop that there, cut around there. So this one is one with the book page behind that we just made, and actually don't even need to move that to the other side because that's just pretty much where it needed to be. So we've got that like that. So, and I'm wondering if we could have this little number tab down here as well. So that might be quite nice, mightn't it? Now I haven't ever printed these numbers on the clear labels yet. That was just a bit of an experiment that I was having, and then obviously forgot what I printed them out for. So I'm wondering whether we might like to stick this onto book page or something. or whether we want to stick it straight on here. Kind of thinking the book page might be nice. I don't know how it will look. It might look rubbish. But should we give that a try? And then let's just cut that out. Okie dokie. What do you think to that? Or do you think I should have just glued that down onto the page or onto the tag as it was? It's quite nice, isn't it? Or is it a little bit too ginormous for that? Maybe it's a bit big. Oh, decisions, decisions. Right, let's just ink this up now, because this is obviously looking quite bright for the tag. Okay. I'm thinking maybe have that to the side like that. It's quite a nice tag, isn't it? And again, I've got another number tag. Again, this might be too monstrous. That's annoying, isn't it? Let me have a look. Hold on. I've got this small brown one. Maybe that would be better. Do you think I should have just put that straight on here without the book page? Not sure now. Could cut out this one to have down the bottom instead, so let's just give that a try. Very much just winging it here, so who knows how this is going to look. It could look good, it could look absolutely rubbish. Okay, so we're just going to go round like that. That might be too big, to be honest, on there. I know this is big, but this one's actually, I think, even larger, so it may be too big. Or do you think big is okay sometimes? I mean, big is okay sometimes, isn't it? Let's just have a look and see what else I've got. I do love the numbers, I must say. Nothing quite has the right feel except the numbers. Just really enjoy using them lately. Got a butterfly. What do you think? Maybe the tab has to go up there. Maybe we should have it more like that. I want something over the, you know, on the fabric, I think, for definite. So I'm just having a look, because I've got lots of the numbers in my little organizer here to the side on my desk. So I'm just going to pull in some other ones. Got tiny ones too. They might be quite nice. I'm going to just round these little edges. Hate it when you can't decide on something. Can just sometimes while away such a lot of time making a decision, and it's just frustrating. I realise that. So yeah, sorry about that. Let's try. Aha! Right, get rid of those two. This, I think, looks a lot better. Right, okay. So sometimes it's just getting the right, you know, combination, isn't it? So, right, let's pop this one down here. Like that. This was actually, I'd printed it and then I, you know, metalliced the edge of that. And I'd put it on really thick card. So to be honest, I could have actually popped that onto some, you know, those puffy dot things. Not dots, but, you know, the foam tape to make it stand out and stand up, stick up. That would have been quite nice. But again, I didn't really think of that in time. Right, okay. So we're going to have the number 7, the butterfly, and the tab, I think, over to that side. Now, isn't that really strange how different the tab looks on one side to the other side? I mean, that's such a minor thing, isn't it? But it makes a massive, massive difference. How weird is that? It's amazing the difference that really made. Strange. Strange how much difference it can make. Right, I'm just going to pop that butterfly down. Okay. Like that. So now it's just for the tab. Do we want it that side with that number there, or that side with the number there? I'm going to have to stand up and have a look down on it again. I know I do that so often, but honestly, sometimes it can just really make all the difference when you're looking down. Right, that's that. And that's that. Yeah, I think I prefer it this side. It's weird how that makes such a difference, honestly. Right, I'm just going to glue this down. Like that. Oh my gosh, look. Getting glue everywhere now. Oh, yuck, mucky, mucky. Ah, mucky, mucky, honestly. Right, let's just stab that off at the back. Really glue that down. And again, just there at the front. Oops. Like that. You know, and obviously you could stitch around the tag or whatever, and then, you know, that would really reinforce that fabric as well, wouldn't it? Obviously I'm not doing that. My sewing machine's not here, as you know. So I'm just going to use my fabric glue to just stick this number down just there, like that. Okie dokie. Right, love how that looks. Really love how that looks. And then of course what you've got is you've got your pocket in the tag. So just here, if I have a look around quickly and see whether I can find something to put in there. Oh, have I got anything just to hand? No, of course I haven't. That would be far too organised, wouldn't it? I mean, of course there probably is a ton of stuff that I could put in there that's buried on my desk, but of course it's buried and now I can't actually see anything. So anyway, you can put something in there, would be fine. Now, just before I go, the final thing is I also had this lace. Now, this was the lace that I received in the lovely Happy Mail from Laura. I'm just going to put these in there just to sort of demonstrate that that's a pocket, basically. This was the lace that I received from Laura, and if you saw my Happy Mail video, you'll know that it was a white lace. And I have, first of all, food coloured it, so it's now pink. And then I did the Mod Podge straight over to the lace, or straight over the lace again. So I obviously hadn't got round to finishing this off, but I'm just going to kind of demonstrate now that as well, you don't have to just use solid fabrics, but you could also do this on, you know, I'm not saying every lace is going to lend itself to this, because some might just be too holy and, you know, delicate to actually be able to cut and, you know, shape around and things. But if you've got any lace that's quite filled in, this for example, didn't that work out brilliantly? And like I say, of course you can just use the lace as the tabs themselves. It's just sometimes, you know, you might not want the floppy tabs, you might want, you know, more solidy type tabs. So I think this is just a good compromise, because you get the look of the fabric, but you get the rigidity of more like paper. So that's that one. And let me just move those pieces out of the way. Again, I'm now covered in things, but just again to give you a kind of just idea there of how that would look. That's how that would look on a tag. So just a few ideas there of making your fabric tabs there. for your junk journals. So I hope that you like them. I think they're super fun to make, and they're also a great way of using up all your fabric scraps. So I hope it's given you some ideas, and yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you will join me again tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.